Name out of that barrel, if somebody can see if you can hold that. Pretty much. So,
G'day OWFsquad, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. Today I'm at Melbourne T4 and today I'm going to fly Rex inaugural flight, a Boeing 737 from here Melbourne to Sydney. A very special flight today because it's the first ever Rex flight between two major cities in Australia. A lot of that AV geeks going to be on board, and now without further ado, now let's go check in. The moment my friend and I got to the Rex side of Terminal 4, we were immediately surrounded by many AV geeks and media. Like many other airlines, when you check in with Rex, you have many options. You can use one of those self-check-in kiosks or head to the traditional counters where someone do it for you. Now, another reason why this is going to be a really special flight, it's because it's the first time ever Rex is offering business class on a flight. And for me, it's extra special because today I'm seated in business class. Now that I've checked in and got my boarding pass, I'm going to head upstairs to go through security. Jetstar is the main airline that uses Terminal 4, and they have many flights leaving Melbourne today, so it's quite busy. But one fantastic thing is that Melbourne Airport Terminal 4 has some new special technology at the security, and you don't have to take out anything when you go through the screening. You don't have to take out your laptop, your water, etc, etc. So that's Terminal 4 for you. Pretty big, very advanced, and it feels like a food court. That's our gorgeous aircraft to Sydney today. A 17-year-old Boeing 737-800 Victor Hotel Romeo Quebec Charlie. Rex bought this aircraft from Virgin Australia. That's our plane. Our flight number today is ZL18 bound for Sydney. And because I'm flying in business class today, I'll have the Rex Business Lounge access. So although Rex never had business class before, they've always had a lounge for those who are members. Those members aren't really frequent flyers. Rex hasn't got a frequent flyer program running yet, but they will. So originally the Rex Lounge was for those who got Priority Pass and Rex Lounge membership members. Money, money home. As you walk into the lounge, you have to do your COVID sign-in, and you'll immediately see how tiny the lounge is. It does, however, have a self-service bar. There is a limited food option here, a good variety of tea and coffee to choose from, also chocolate. Cold drinks wise, there's a selection of water, soft drinks, and alcohol, but unfortunately alcohol is not available until it's 3 o'clock. That side of the fridge is locked. So overall, a really basic lounge. I was really lucky to have the opportunity to have a chat with the executives of Rex Airline inside the lounge. They told me that they'll definitely upgrade the lounge so that hopefully it's on par with, Virgin Australia and Qantas. So I didn't really stay in the lounge for really long, just like 10 minutes to have a quick tea and yogurt, because A, it's basic, and B, there's going to be an event at the boarding gate. I'm now at gate 11, where Rex first ever 737 passenger flight is going to depart from. There is free refreshments and you can order a free coffee or tea at the boarding gate as part of this special event. So we've got some scones here which I didn't really like, to be honest. So people there, the executives and the media, they're getting ready. Right now, Mr. John Spark, the Deputy Chairman of Rex Airline, is having an interview with, I believe, 9 News.
Our inaugural Boeing 737 jet service between Melbourne and Sydney. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today. I'd like to also pay my respects to the elders past, present and future, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal people who are here today. With nearly 70 years of providing services to regional Australia, Rex is the second oldest and the largest independent regional and domestic airline in Australia today. Today's launch of Rex's jet services between Melbourne and Sydney represent the first time an independent airline has operated this route in nearly 15 years. And we thank the microphones for that. I'd now like to invite Mr. Lyle Scranby, the Chief Executive Officer of Melbourne Airport, to the microphone for a few words. Thanks, Lyle.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you here. Actually, I'd almost like to say welcome back to Melbourne Airport. It's been a considerable time since we've been able to run an event like this one, and it's so exciting to be here today for what is the first expansion of Rex into the trunk network. Hugely exciting for Melbourne Airport. It's certainly not every day that you get to welcome a new carrier, but it's a bit wrong to be calling Rex a new carrier. It's a carrier that's been around with us for many, many years. It's a new carrier to the trunk routes, obviously. The Airline is a terrific addition to this impressive Melbourne-Sydney route. It's one of the largest by traffic routes in the nation, which is really terrific. So a great place to launch services. Probably more than most people, I understand what it takes to launch a service like this. There is a huge amount of work that goes on behind the scenes here. And to the Rex team here today, I really want to thank them for the effort they've put in. It's a single day event, but months and months of work go behind the scenes to make this happen, and to make it happen so safely and with such style and aplomb that they're actually doing. I want to thank John Sharp, the Deputy Chair of Rex, who's here with us today, for coming down and the support he's given Melbourne Airport over the years. I'd like to thank the Melbourne Airport team for the tremendous work they've done to help make this a great success today. It's an exciting time for aviation in Australia. It's not often, as I said before, that we get to welcome a new carrier to the skies. And with that comes increased competition, which usually translates to great fares, more service, more frequency, all those things that we desire. To see an airline launch in the way that Rex is launching this time is really impressive. You know, they're building off an existing airline. They're an established operator, and it's much easier then to make this sort of transition as compared to somebody who's starting up absolutely cold. So guys, I wish you every success under the sun, both commercially and operationally, and may you have enormous commercial success and fly safely. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle. I'd now like to invite the Deputy Chairman of Rex, the Honourable John Sharp AM, to the microphone. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Steve Loader, and to Lyle Scranby from Melbourne Airport, to Goodie Bag from the Victorian Government, representing the Victorian Government here today. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for being with us. But can I also pay my respects and my thanks to all of the people who are here today to join us on this very historic first flight. I mean, thank you for coming. Thank you for having faith in us and booking that ticket and paying your money and turning up here this morning at the terrible hour of 6 o'clock in the morning in order to join in what is one of the most historic moments in Australian aviation in many, many years. And so can I thank all of you who've had the faith in us, Rex Airlines, for booking your ticket and joining us here this morning for this wonderful new service. And can I also welcome one of our ambassadors. Rex has an unusual system of having ambassadors who represent us in different places in different roles. And Kay Hull, who's former member of the Federal Parliament, member of the Riverina Darling, which is, or Riverina I should say, which is based in Wagga Wagga in New South Wales. And Kay's here with us today as well. So thank you very much, Kay, for joining us. As Lyle has said, this is an occasion that brings together an enormous amount of work by a lot of people over a long period of time. And when you get off the plane later this morning, there'll be a gentleman, he's well in his 90s, his name is Max Hazelton. And Max has come down from Orange, where he lives in central New South Wales, and Max started what is now called Rex nearly 17 years ago, in 1953. He started it with one aeroplane, an Oster, which was a single-engine aeroplane, and over time it evolved into what we now know as Rex Airlines. And along the way, there was another gentleman who came from Wagga called Don Kendall. And Don Kendall founded Kendall Airlines in 1964, and that airline merged into what we now know with Hazelton as Rex Airlines. And Don died many years ago, but his granddaughter, Audrey, will be joining us at Sydney Airport, and she, incidentally, is a pilot, and she works for Rex in our pilot training academy in Wagga Wagga. So the connections between the past and the present and the future are still very strong with us, and we're so lucky to have people like Max Hazelman and Audrey Campbell joining us today on this very historic occasion. But Rex would like to take a moment to thank Melbourne Airport, Lyle, for the great work your team has done. We have obviously a large regional network of 60 destinations or thereabouts around Australia. We therefore deal with 60 airports and airport owners, but Melbourne really stands out as absolutely top of the line in terms of their help and cooperation and friendly business technique of working with us. And without your help, Lyle, and the support of your team, we wouldn't be here today doing what we're doing. So thank you very much indeed for your assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an historic day for aviation in Australia. It's been, as Steve later mentioned a few moments ago, it's been 15 years since an independent airline started up on the domestic air services around Australia. It was called Ozjet 15 years ago. And Rex is different to all the others because we've been around such a long time. We've always managed to operate profitably. We arrived at the COVID pandemic debt-free, and we see this as a wonderful opportunity for our business to expand, to give our regional passengers, our traditional regional passengers, an opportunity to link seamlessly into domestic airline services as well as our regional airline services. And in the course of doing it, in the course of Rex becoming a domestic operator, we think we'll be able to offer better prices, more services and better services than we've had in the past in the major capital cities. And so today, we're very pleased to announce that not only are we starting our first service, which you're all participating in today, but we're announcing today that we're extending our network, and the first extension will be from Melbourne to Coolangatta on the 29th of March, starting a new service, Melbourne-Coolangatta. And then the next day, the 30th of March, we'll be going from Melbourne to Adelaide. And the day after that, the 1st of April, we'll be going from Sydney to Coolangatta. Really great prices, $69 for those who want to buy an economy fare. Melbourne, I should say, to Adelaide, and $299 for business. And if you're going from Sydney to Coolangatta, it'll be $69 and $299 for a business class. And from Melbourne to Coolangatta, it'll be $79 and $349 for business class. So there's my ad for today. But it's the beginning of what will be an extensive network that Rex will have right around Australia. So I'd like to conclude today by also thanking the people from the team here at Melbourne Airport. And I also thank our Rex team. We've got a wonderful team of people at Rex. The two pilots who will be flying you today from here to Sydney are two pilots who started their pilot careers at Hazelman Airlines, 30-odd, 40-odd years ago. And so this gives you an idea of the loyalty and the depth of experience that Rex brings to this new service that we're operating. So we've got a wonderful team of people. They've all worked really hard. We made the decision to start this domestic service 9 months ago. And in 9 months, we've done it all. Everything you need to do to make it happen. And so today, for us, it's an historic moment. We hope it's an historic moment for all of you here today. And on behalf of all of the team of Rex, once again, thank you very much to all of you who had the faith in us to book a ticket, to turn up here on this particular day, and to start making our history part of your history. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John, and for those that are very keen, those fares, the flights between Melbourne and the Gold Coast, Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney and the Gold Coast, they're available for booking from 9 a.m. this morning. So folks, book early, book often, get in this morning and book those flights. Now, we're going to very carefully move this magnificent cake across, and John and Lyle are going to cut the cake, and immediately following that, we're going to go over and cut the ribbon across the archway there to allow people to get on our inaugural flight. So anyone with cameras, media would like to come over.
Before we
we go, we have an upgrade for one of our passengers who booked in economy, and the winner of the upgrade is Darren Wakefield. Where are you, Darren?
I'm actually right here.
Right there in front. Well done. He was also going to be the first on the plane by the look of him standing in front of me. Now, Darren, interestingly enough, was the very first person to book and pay for a flight on Rex's domestic airline service. And so, Darren, because you showed so much faith in us, we're going to invite you to sit up and enjoy the quality of a business class seat and the service that goes with it. So, I think we've got a really big ticket for you somewhere, so you can keep it. So, there you go, Darren. Well done. Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen of media, we're now just going to flip around over here for the cutting of the ribbon. And John and I, if you'd like to get over to the arch.
Sorry guys. I'll move this out my table.
Sorry.
John, just the papers on the bench behind us, that's okay.
We're moving the tray back.
Okay, you all
Get rid
ready?
of the tray. Get rid of the tray. You can use that. Yep. And looking up as you count, gentlemen, we'll count you in.
Okay,
3,
1, 2, and 3.
Looking up, looking up, looking up. Thank you.
Well, there we go. You got enough? You can do it twice.
Maybe a bit of a handshake. And looking at the camera with a handshake. Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks very much.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Speechless. Rex has brilliantly messed up priority boarding, but you can't really blame anyone because everyone was so excited and eager to get on board. In a few seconds, we're going to receive a really warm welcome from our cabin manager today.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good, good, thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bob. You're on the right-hand side, just
Okay.
at window.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Right.
Welcome on board Virgin Australia, Rex 737-800. This is my seat today, 2A.
Sorry, is that mine?
A quick look into economy class before we sit down. Because this is an ex-Virgin Australia plane, there's still Economy X here, but Rex is going to rename that into Rextra legroom. Really clever. No core hook unfortunately, but there's a clothing rail and hangers. When everyone boards their plane today, they'll be pleased to find that Rex has printed out a certificate and their names on it. Also on the seat you'll find a goodie bag, and let's quickly have a look what's in there. So there's a cap with a Rex logo, a pen, a in-flight magazine, should have really been a safety card, but you'll find that in your seat pocket and I'm sure so many people brought that home. And there's also this special magazine about Rex and their history. And finally this cool looking water bottle which you can write your name on it.
Please place large bags into the overhead.
Hello, thank you. Is that water would be nice?
We also have a sparkling water if you'd like.
Actually, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, no problem, no problem.
today.
All good.
Sorry. May I offer you the still water or would you prefer?
Yeah, still water would be fine, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, good one.
I'm very pleased to see that Rex is doing welcome drink, but that's actually a plastic cup, not real glass, but that's okay I guess. And now the deputy chairman boards the plane.
coffee, there's tea, or you can have, we're doing complimentary champagne anyway, but we've also got some wines on offer if you're interested.
With its history dating back to 1953 with the formation of Hazleton Airlines, which together with Kendall Airlines were the component airlines of Rex. Rex operates a fleet of 61 Saab 340 aircraft, 59 destinations throughout all states in Australia. And we begin our domestic services today with our new fleet of Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Over the past 20 years, Rex has been the most reliable on-time passenger airline carrier in Australia. And our new jet domestic services will also enjoy this superior reliability. With reliability comes safety. At Rex, your safety will always be our #1 priority. We will be offering a number of premium force services with our trademark company hospitality, but at affordable prices. The weather for our flight today is expected to be fine en route, and the forecast temperature in Sydney will be 24 degrees and fine conditions. At this stage, we plan to arrive in Sydney at just on 8:30. On behalf of everyone at Rex Airlines, we hope that you enjoy today's flight on what is a historic day in Australian aviation history. Thank you.
Have you here with us today. So we are on our very first flight. It's our Rex flight ZL18 from Melbourne to Sydney. My name's Ebony. I'm going to be your cabin manager on board today's flight, and I'll introduce the rest of the crew whilst we're doing the safety demonstration as well. So we've just heard from our captain, he's John Veach, and also we have our other captain with us, Brett Brown. Please ensure you've now taken your assigned seat and your seatbelt is firmly fastened, and if you're seated in an emergency exit row or a row without a seat in front, all carry-on items must be stowed in the overhead lockers, keeping the floor area clear. If you do require any assistance or there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please don't hesitate to ask one of your friendly flight attendants as we move throughout the cabin. We also want to let you know that the safety and good health of our passengers and employees is our highest priority. We are working closely with national authorities and implementing changes based on the latest advice and guidance with COVID-19 to ensure the welfare of you and your crews are best met. Passengers are required to wear face masks at all time whilst on board this aircraft, except during service, or if instructed to remove the mask by a crew member to see a big smile. In your seat pocket, you'll find our passenger information card, which explains the correct handling of masks and further precautions we've taken as our enhanced cleaning procedures. We really do want to thank you, welcome you on board again, and we hope this is definitely not the last flight that you take with us. We are so glad to have you all with us today.
We're now pushing back, and the cabin manager just finished taking meal orders for business class.
Anyone who's never flown with Rex at all, we welcome everybody. Thank you for travelling with Rex for the first time, and your flight attendants on board that will be helping us in the cabin. We've got at the front Nanako, in the middle is Lucinda, we've got at the back Samantha, and at the very back assisting us with our very first flight today we have Mike and Ashley. May we have your full attention as we demonstrate the safety features for this Boeing 737 aircraft before fitting down the drop-down oxygen mask. And now here's the treat. Welcome to the show.
In your seat pocket, you will find a cabin safety information card, which shows the brace position and other important information on what you should do in the unlikely event of an emergency. Please read this carefully before we take off. Your seatbelt should now be securely fastened low and tight around your hips. For further inflation, blow into these mouthpieces. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention above your head. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight.
The whole safety demo and announcement thing was really Virgin Australia, and I actually low-key like that. The fact that they introduced every staff and their names, it's really personal, and it probably even make the service and communication between passengers and staff more interactive.
No, that's fine.
ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments' time, on both sides of the aircraft you'll be able to see Melbourne Airport providing a ceremonial water cannon salute to commemorate our first 737 service here at Rex.
I've never been in an aircraft or actually seen a water cannon salute before, so I'm so thrilled. Yay!
Well, that's the first time.
It's giving me goosebumps. There's a helicopter right there chasing us and filming us taking off.
We are also going to be having a sweet snack this morning, as well as a commemorative cupcake that you can either eat now or enjoy later. Masks can be removed whilst eating and drinking, however we kindly ask that you replace the mask as soon as possible. May I remind you this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking, including the use of electronic cigarettes, is not permitted at any time. A friendly reminder that wherever the seatbelt sign is illuminated, your seatbelt must be fastened. There are 2 lavatories located in the rear of the aircraft for your convenience, and to minimise contact within the cabin, please remain seated until the lavatory becomes vacant. Whilst on board our aircraft, we do suggest you do some gentle exercises. Please refer to the in-flight magazine for more information, and if you misplace your electronic device in flight, don't move your seat. Contact one of us and we will come and help you immediately. If there's anything we can do to make your flight more comfortable, please don't hesitate to ask any one of us. Thank you very much. Is that alright with you? Yep, absolutely.
In economy class, they're doing welcome drinks. Now, just note that they won't normally do that. It's only because this is an inaugural flight. Everyone's going to receive a champagne or a drink of their choice. And 90s or 70s, whatever, is going to film that. How amazing.
Of course. All the way up here without...
Now, just before I forget, let's quickly go through the seat features. So you've got a seat pocket, and here you've got 2 cocktail tables for your drinks, a recline button, your tray table is inside your armrest, take it out, open it, and you can move it back and forth. Every business seat comes with a comfortable and large adjustable headrest with a Rex logo on it. One major drawback is that there's no power point, so that you have to use your own power bank. Now, a Rex manager, not the in-flight manager but like a corporate manager perhaps, is taking photos for everyone, and look how not adorable that is.
The Deputy Chairman of Rex, John Sharp, to welcome you on board.
Well, good. Does my work? Okay, can you hear me, everybody? Yes. Great. Well, look, welcome aboard. We really do appreciate your participation in this very first Rex domestic air service between Melbourne and Sydney on the 1st of March 2021. For us, as I mentioned earlier in my remarks before we boarded today, this is a really historic moment for us. It's the culmination of so much hard work by so many people to overcome so many hurdles to make this first flight and subsequent flights happen. Many of the people who've been working on that are on board with us today, our Rex staff, and as I said before, I really do appreciate their contribution, their effort. Many of them have been working 7 days a week to make this happen. So today we are not just engaging in a historic flight, but we're engaging in a flight which is unusual in that there are going to be some prizes for those of you who are aboard the plane. So I'm now going to draw a seat number from this bag that Steve's holding. You can only see his arm, and the rest of him is behind us here. But the prize is for one of our passengers. It's 2 tickets on Rex from Melbourne to King Island. Now, if anybody has been to King Island, you'll realise it's one of the most wonderful destinations in Australia. It's a unique place, and it's a very, very pretty, picturesque island with wonderful hospitality. So the prize is 2 tickets on Rex to King Island and 2 nights accommodation on board the island. So I'm now going to draw the name out of the barrel. If somebody can see me, you can hold that. So,
oh darling, I'm sorry.
What number's going to be? Here we go. Okay, so the seat number is Johanna Pelgrim. What seat are you in, Johanna? Right down the back. Well, there she is, Johanna Pelgrim. You've won the 2 flights to King Island and the 2 nights accommodation, and you'll be able to, I'll take this down to you in a few moments and give it to you, and you can all cash that in, and we look forward to seeing you on the flight to King Island very shortly.
Well, that was a little bit of a drama, but she managed it really well, and the passengers were actually really happy that it happened, I think. And now here's the free-flowing champagne. For those who are new to my channel, just so you know, I upload a new trip report every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time, every single Thursday. And for Melbourne and Sydney time, that's 3 PM every Thursday. So if you're new to my channel, again, please don't forget to subscribe and click that bell button so you won't miss out a new video coming out every Thursday. Here's a little treat just before your breakfast. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically 2 cookies with some cream in it. It's quite tasty.
Conditions for arrival. The temperature at the moment is 23 degrees. Bit of scattered cloud about the coast, and the wind is favouring the north, so we'll land into the north of runway 34. Arrival time is at this stage 25 minutes past 8, subject to air traffic control. We do trust you're enjoying the inaugural flight with us. It's so good to have you with us, and we'll see you next time you travel with Rex. Thank you.
You'll notice that Rex doesn't use china plates or glasswares for your meal. but they promise that everything is recyclable so the environmental impact is lowered. I actually quite like the presentation. And for drinks I opted for tea. Here's a selection. I picked English breakfast. For the meal there was 2 options. I forgot what the other one was, but this one was vegetarian omelette. It was absolutely delicious. On the sides there were cupcakes, a bottle of water and fruits.
And she championed services for rural Australia. When Ansett Airlines collapsed and regional carriers Hazelton and Kendall were under threat, she worked tirelessly to ensure
a massive jolt for rural and regional Australia. There was a lot of issues and a lot of flurry about getting a domestic airline up and running.
So here's my English tea with some milk. The cabin crew added the exact amount of milk I wanted. Well done.
Steve Loader. Now we have one passenger here who is 12 years of age. He has an absolute passion for aviation. He has a YouTube channel which is called Emmett's Aviation, where he posts videos of various aircraft and he makes all sorts of comments. And Emmett received a ticket for this flight, this first inaugural flight for Rex today, and it was his Christmas present from his father. And so Emmett's dad bought the ticket, gave it to Emmett for his birthday, and we thought this was rather wonderful. A 12-year-old fellow who's so passionate about aviation wanting to join us on this occasion. He's not the youngest passenger on board. The youngest passenger, I think, is Hugo, who's just down here on the port side of the aircraft near the wing with his mum. Hugo wants to be a pilot one day. So Emmett's probably the second youngest passenger on our flight today, but he's certainly one of the youngest people I know who has his own YouTube channel. So congratulations to Emmett for that. And we're now going to invite Emmett to draw a winner of 2 tickets on the new Rex 737 jet service, which starts, this service starts on the 29th of March, and it's from Melbourne to the Gold Coast, plus 2 nights accommodation in the Gold Coast. And Emmett's now going to draw the name of the person who will be enjoying that particular prize. Emmett, do you want to tell us who it is?
Wakefield Darren.
Darren Wakefield. Darren, you're in the front here. Now, Darren is an habitual winner. He won the business class upgrade, and now he's won the ticket from Melbourne to the Gold Coast for 2 people, and with 2 nights accommodation thrown in. So somehow or other you've been struck by a rainbow. Well done. Now, to commemorate this occasion for Emmett, we would like to present him with a model of the plane that we're flying in today. And well done to you, Emmett. Thank you for joining us. And good luck with your aviation passion into the future.
So a very quick lavatory tour because we are descending now. So here's the front lavatory behind the cockpit for business class passengers. A generic 737 lavatory, I'd say. Your leg room, it's pretty good when you sit down. And oh my god, look at that, darling. It's been a really long video. I guess it's time to conclude this trip report right here, right now. On board Rex, inaugural 737 flight, Melbourne to Sydney. Let's begin from the check-in experience. So you've got plenty of options you can check in online, but it wasn't actually available for this flight because Rex website is so bleh. Terminal 4 isn't the best terminal in Melbourne, I think, but it does its job. The security is so cool, you don't have to take out anything from your bag. The Rex lounge in Melbourne is really basic, good selection of drinks but not food. Notice that there's also no staff inside the lounge, but there's actually a reception outside the lounge. So perhaps if you need to change your ticket or something, that's the place you need to go. You need to go outside the lounge. It was also really cool that I could talk with the executives of Rex Airline in the lounge. John Spark in particular, I think he's a legend. He's a really cool man. He gave me a handshake as well. As for the event, there was no social distancing, but you can't blame anyone on that as well. Everyone kind of already did their part by wearing masks.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of lucky passengers today, 2 free upgrades I heard at least, and a lot of free tickets. Now let's jump on board. The cabin manager today, Ebony, did a fantastic job. I have no wonder at all why she was picked to be the manager for today's flight. Monaco, also serving business class today, also like Ebony, did a really fantastic job. Very friendly, professional, and know how to make their passengers happy. As for the seat, it's totally identical to the ones on Virgin Australia. It's comfortable enough for a short 1-hour flight like this one. The meal today was really good. My neighbour and I had the same vegetarian omelette meal. We both really liked it. The sides, the drinks, champagne and tea were all really good as well. The Asian flush I got was really worth it. I guess that's all I have to say. Now for the price, I paid $399 for this one-way inaugural flight, Melbourne to Sydney. And it's not the cheapest fare that Rex has to offer. Normally it's $299 for this route. I paid $399 because obviously it was selling out and they've got only the more expensive fare left. And sometimes during the promotion period they do $199, and that's a really, really great deal. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this trip. I'll also be flying back to Melbourne after this flight, the same aircraft actually and same crew, in economy class next time. So be sure to check that out soon when it's out. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notified for sure. And that's of course if you've got the bell button enabled as well. I'm also available on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. You can follow me or add me there and keep up to date with me through those social media platforms. I also offer memberships on Patreon and my YouTube channel. Thanks again so very much for watching this trip report. Can I also say it was really great to see so many AV geeks on board today's flight, and also the following flight back to Melbourne. Baxter, Ozflyer, Adrian Maxwell from Adelaide, Evan Brown, Rory, Paul Stewart and Jessica, and of course many other people. Very nice to meet you all. Again, thank you so much for watching. I don't know how many times I've said that. I'm gonna do the Q&A as per usual at the end of the video. Thanks again. Keep watching for the smooth landing into Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport, and also for the welcome water cannon ceremony at the taxiway to Terminal 2. Thanks, see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, just like that, welcome to Sydney. That was our first flight. So the local time here is just just reached 8:26 in the morning. Please remain seated with your seatbelt firmly fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the captain has switched off the fasten seatbelt sign. If your electronic devices are within reach, you're welcome to use these now. Electronic devices must not be used whilst disembarking the aircraft and crossing the tarmac. Prior to leaving your seat, please check your seat pocket and the surrounding areas for any of your items. Take care when opening the overhead lockers as heavier items may move during the flight. If you do require any assistance disembarking, please remain seated as one of our flight attendants will be happy to assist you. A reminder that smoking, including the use of electronic cigarettes, is not permitted on the tarmac or inside any Australian airport. On behalf of Captain John Beach, Captain Brett Brown and your entire crew and the whole Rex family, we'd really like to thank you for flying with Rex today. It's been our pleasure to have you on board and we can't wait and look forward to your company when you next choose to fly. Thank you so very much, and just very quickly on COVID, we see anything without COVID here. Our passengers are reminded that our Department of Health have mandated the wearing of masks in all passenger terminals and to practice social distancing guidelines where possible. Thank you very much for having us, and we are so glad to have had you on board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ebony. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments' time, once again, we will be receiving the ceremonial water cannon salute from Sydney Airport. You can see this on both sides of the aircraft, and I'm sure once again you will join in a round of applause when this occurs to welcome us at the conclusion of our first 737 flight. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been our pleasure.
So Hugo, if you put up your hand wherever you are, the lovely Hugo also has a YouTube channel as well as Emmett, so definitely go check it out, and yeah, he can tell you what his YouTube handle is as we're disembarking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. G'day, OWFsquad. Welcome back to Q&A. I really hope that you enjoyed that ultra long video of mine, especially on a Wednesday. Got 4 questions for Q&A today, and let's begin with my Patreon from Hobart, more specifically Hobart's Crown Plaza Hotel. Ian's asking, how long does it take to edit a video, and how much footage do you take on a trip? For example, the LA to Canberra. So for LA to Canberra, a very basic domestic flight. I've got lounge access. It was economy class, so not too long. Perhaps if you combine all the footage I got in that very trip. It was about 30 minutes and I cut it down to eventually 15. And I added Q&A, so 20 minutes, I think, perhaps. How long does it take to edit? Not too long for a domestic flight because A, I'm very used to it, and B, I'm doing it a lot now this year because of COVID. All I do is domestic flight and economy class and Qantas, Virgin, otherwise Rex or Jetstar. So very fast. But things like Rex inaugural for this video, all up I've got actually an hour of footage for one flight, which is amazing. And I've managed to cut it down to 45 minutes. Plus a Q&A, I think maybe, I don't know how long this Q&A is going to be, so perhaps at the end it's going to be 15 minutes perhaps. And how long does it take to edit? Slightly longer than the normal Qantas Jetstar ones, perhaps an hour and a half. Because obviously there's something that I have to research, I have to, don't know, it's just a newer thing, you know. But what takes the longest time to edit is always a long haul, international, premium cabin flight. Because obviously long haul, longer video, more footage. International, it's always more interesting, more to say. And for business class and premium or first, you know, the seat's more sophisticated, there's more service to talk about, there's more food to talk about. I have to read through the menu to make sure that I've got the food items and drink items right to not embarrass myself. Hopefully that's a good answer for you, Ian. A really good question, by the way. Now Twister7, hi from LA. Hopefully not fire infested anymore. Shouldn't be. How do you see aviation in 5 years given the pandemic effect? No clue. Like, look at Australia. Rex is flipping, expanding. How can, like, I couldn't believe that if you tell me that 5 months ago. But now it's happened. Now, even they say they're going to do Melbourne to Adelaide, Sydney, and Melbourne to Gold Coast. Like, it's fascinating, really. I also see that America's doing some, you know, there's some retractions, obviously, same as Australia, but there's also some good news and perhaps some expansion as well. Like, don't know too much exactly the routes or whatever, but like Southwest is expanding, going to like Chicago, O'Hare more specifically, American, Alaskan, obviously Alaska Airlines, actually, not Alaskan. Alaska Airlines joining One World, and both AA and them gonna, well, not gonna, but restarted flying the 737 MAX, which is amazing, of course. Elemental Breath, would you like to operate an aircraft by yourself? Absolutely not. I don't trust myself. You don't want to trust me too. I'm not even good at driving. Carlo Flauta, what's an airline that you didn't expect to have great service? So thanks for another interesting question. Like, all question this week is really good again. Rex, one of them. Can't go wrong with a country airline. Swiss Lufthansa, which I tried early last year, was quite impressed. Jeju Air is another one, like a low-cost airline, but like great customer service at the airport and on board. And also, like, there was a slight delay at the gate, but then free water for everyone. I paid like almost, like, I don't know, so cheap, like $69 on that flight from Seoul to Hong Kong, 3 hours, and free water in economy. And another airline is actually, I'm gonna say, China Airlines from Taiwan. Like, very impressed, like really friendly Taiwanese crew. So thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, for the economy trip report back to, what's that called? Sydney to Melbourne. And look at that, it's actually really close result. That's the poll I posted on Instagram earlier today. Like, I was asking people whether I should do a Rex 737 economy class report on Thursday. So the one I did right after this trip, or should I do Virgin 737 economy? but with the, not sure if that was recording, some notification just popped out, but I was going to say, but rather should I do 737 economy on Virgin, but with a lounge access at Adelaide. The new Adelaide lounge was fascinating. So 54% voted for Rex. I'm going to do that. 46 voted for Virgin, and I'm very sorry for those who voted for Virgin. Just another week of waiting. And funny thing is that most who voted for Virgin are actually Virgin staff. Like, oh, so cheeky. Thanks again. See you next week. Tomorrow. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.